Shari Gilgulim, fourth lecture. So we ended off our last lecture talking about how to complete the nefesh. We said there's 5 parts to a person's neshama, right? We have from the bottom up, we have the nefesh. We have, after the nefesh, working our way up, we have the ruach. Working our way up, we have the neshama. Going up, we have the chayat. Above that, we have the yechidah. And we said that all these 5 parts of your neshama connects you to the whole world, to all the cosmos, to all the universes, to every star, to every life being, to every force in the world. In what way? When you're in your level of nefesh, you're basically connected to all the world of asiyah, which means the domem, the inanimate objects. Okay? When you're connected to the ruach, you're in the world of yitzirah. And what do we have after domem? We have tzomeach. Right? Domem, tzomeach. Then we have neshama. We have what's neshama? Bria. What's in bria? Chai. And chaya, which is the world of atzilut. What do we have in the chaya? The medaber. Obviously, yechidah, ayin lo ra'ata Elohim zulatecha. We don't talk about the yechidah. Nobody has ever reached it. Only Mashiach will reach it. Right? Al ken yaskil avdi yarum v'nisa v'gava me'od. Right? He will even reach higher levels than Moshe Rabbeinu. Okay? So these are the parts. Now, we, in our shiur, for everybody here has to take a second. Forget about the ruach. Forget about the neshama. Forget about the chaya. Forget about all these pieces and the yehidah. Forget about all of that. We are only dealing in the nefesh. Is there a better thing than this? We're dealing with the nefesh, with the world of asiyah. And we said to fix the nefesh, you have to fix, this was our last conversation, you have to fix the whole world of asiyah. That means from the place that we stand until the last materialistic object in the world. That means if you go to space, is there materialistic stuff in space? What do you mean? You have stars over there, you have rock, you have asteroids, you have comets, you understand? You gotta go till the last dot of anything materialistic. You must fix it in your aspect of your neshama if you want to reach the ruach. If you don't fix it, you can never reach the ruach. What does that mean? So he said there's a person that comes from the world of asiyah. He comes from the malchut of asiyah. That's the lowest possible level. Malchut is the last sphira. Right? There are 10 sphirot. So he has to fix all the malchuyot of asiyah. If you come from the yesod, which is the 9th sphira, you have to fix all the yesodot. If you come from netzach, you have to fix all the netzachim. Hod, all the hods. If you come from tiferet, all the tiferet. And chesed, givurah, chokhmah, bina, vedat, and keter, obviously. So everybody has a different job to fix inside this world. But you never will reach your ruach until you fix all the yesodot. That means you have to go through many different tests. And we said in our last shiur, to fix your nefesh, you must do 2 things. You must learn the minimal of the Torah, which is what? All the 24 books, Torah, Nevi'im, and Ketuvim, and understand what you're reading, obviously. And the second thing, you have to fix all the mitzvot aseh. What's all the mitzvot aseh? All the mitzvot that you have to do. And the physical mitzvot, paran tzitzit, wear tefillin, shiluach haken, peter hamor, shemitah, no matter what, all the mitzvot, you gotta do chesed, levayat hamet. You have to finish all the mitzvot aseh and all the different shitot. That means, for example, you have shiluach haken, sending the mother bird away. There's a machloket. Do you have to hold the mother bird and send it away? Or do you shoo her away? According to the Rambam, you have to actually hold her. and send her away. According to Rashi, the Tur, and the Rosh, you have to shoo her away. So you have to fulfill the mitzvah also according to Rashi and V'siyato, and you also fulfill the mitzvah according to who? The Rambam. In a sense, that way you fill all the shitot. And not only that, we said there is a machloket. Because basically we have the world of Asiyah. Right? So the world of Asiyah, this is a very bad illustration, let's call this whole thing the world of Asiyah. The world of Asiyah has 5 levels. It's called 5 partsufim. The top partsuf is what? It's called arich. Arich. After that you have Abba. After that, Ima. After that, Za. And the last one is No. So let's say you come from the Malchut, right? I said you have to fix the Malchuts. So you have to fix the Malchut of Nok, the Malchut of Za, the Malchut of Ima. You have to fix the Malchut of Abba, and you have to fix the Malchut of Arich. Once you do that, you have graduated from the world of Asiyah and your Nefesh. Congratulations, now you can finally get your Ruach. Mabruk. Let's all give up right now. No, I'm kidding. So that's what you gotta do. Now to do that, we said you have to learn at least Tanakh, Torah, Nevi'im, and Ketuvim, and you have to fulfill all the mitzvot. All the 248 positive commandments. What are applicable today? It's only about 60. Only 60 are applicable today. It's not a lot.
What has to do with kavanah?
Oh, very good. So there's a machloket of the Mekubalim, the Sadeh, Rabbi Shaul Haim Duek HaKohen, which was the Zekan of Mekubalim. He says you have to actually do all 248 5 times. Once when you finished you finished the Nok. Once when you got from the Za. Once from Ima, one from Abba, and one from Ari. Because you got to do it how many times? 5 times. According to the Rabbi Shimon Agassi, no. The first time I do it when I have my nefesh shebenefesh, the lowest part, I did it in the worst possible way. It means I just did it. You understand? Then when I get to the ruach, the za, the malchut of za, now I have to do it b'dibur. I have to learn the mitzvah inside. Let's say the mitzvah of, wearing tefillin. Right? So it's not just enough to wear it. That's the physical aspect. Now I have to actually learn about it. And then after that there is the kavanah. That's when I get to this point of Ima. There's the kavanah. I'm wearing right now tefillin. Then above that is Abba, that's machshava. What's machshava? That's all the kavanah, the thought process that goes into it. And then arich, that's the highest level, that's ketet, that's re'uta deliba. What's re'uta deliba? I'm excited when I do it. That's what it means, you gotta do it 5 times. So it's a machloket mekubalim. How many times do you actually have to do it 5 times? Or do you have to, it's enough to do it in the 5 different ways. Okay? This is where we ended more or less last time. Right? Let's look inside Rabbi's side. It says over here, V'hine, mi shelo tiken rak malchut shel asiyah, whoever didn't fix just the malchut of asiyah, ein bo rak nefesh min ha-nefesh sheba-asiyah. All you have is what? Nefesh sheba-nefesh. If I just fix the last aspect, malchut of asiyah, all I have is nefesh sheba-nefesh. Im tiken gam zad asiyah, but if I also fix, I went to the next level. From nok, above nok is what? Za. If I also fix za the asiyah, then now I have nefesh ruach min asiyah. Now I have nefesh and ruach of asiyah. Right? So now I have nefesh ruach sheba nefesh. V'im tiken gam ima sheba asiyah. If I also fix malchut of ima da asiyah, let's say, now I have nefesh ruach neshama of my nefesh. V'yebo naran min asiyah v'ken al derech zeh ad shenimtza, until we find ki mi shetiken kol chamisha partzufim da asiyah, whoever fixed all the 5 partzufim of asiyah, yesh lo nar nechi. He has the full nar nechi, all 5 parts that he needs to graduate to the ruach.
How do you know when you finish?
It's a good question. We'll get there, Bezat Hashem. וכל חמישה בחינות אלו, and all these 5 aspects, כל בחינה מחמישתן, each 5 of them, שלמה בשלושה חלקיה. So, what is that? שהם עיבור, יניקה ומוחין, כנזכר בפסוק, ומעיל קטן תעשה לו עמו, ונקראת נפש שלמה דעשייה. Okay, so what does he mean right now? He says something even more interesting. Basically, each mitzvah has 3 layers. That means when I do a mitzvah, besides for the physical aspect, and then the dibur, and then the machshava kavana, and ruta deliba, each kavana, depending on my enthusiasm and my knowledge and the level that I am, I'm fixing one of the 3 layers. It's like the 3 layers of your skin, the 3 layers of your body. What are they? They're called ibur, yinika, and mochin. Every human being goes through 3 stages in life. The earliest stage is ibur, when you're in the pregnancy, when you're in your mother's womb. That's called ibur. That's the lowest level. And then you have yinika. What's yinika? When a person is being fed by his mother, when he drinks his mother's milk. All right. Till what age is that? Gemara says back then it was 2 years old. Right. Today it's about 1 year old. Right. After the child finishes feeding, now he could eat. Now he could walk. All right. Children usually walk. At that time, we finish feeding them because they're able to. They could use their netzach and their hod. And the last part is your mochin. What's your mochin? That's the highest state. What's that state? When you get your mochin, you already have your bar dat. You're able to make your own decisions. You understand? After the age of 13. Okay? So every mitzvah has to be fulfilled in these 3 aspects. Of ibur, yenika, and mochin. So let's say, for example, let's start from the bottom. We're in the world of asiyah. Let's start from the nefesh benefesh. The last one, nuk. I'm from the malchut of nuk, right? While I'm fixing the malchut of the nuk, the lowest state of the bare minimum you could do, the bare minimum, it's not enough to do the mitzvah. The action of the mitzvah. When I do the mitzvah, I have to fulfill it in 3 aspects. Of ibur, yinika, and mochin. That means the mitzvah goes through a state of pregnancy, birth, and maturity. Any mitzvah that's missing one of these 3 aspects, you just created either an angel without a hand, an angel without a mouth, or an angel that's a liar. You understand? For example, some rabbis used to have magidim. What's magidim? Angels that would come teach them Torah. These angels that would teach them Torah sometimes would lie to them. Why? These angels are created from your own mitzvah. And if you didn't have the proper kavanah when you did the mitzvah, that angel is a liar angel. It doesn't teach you the right thing. To have the mitzvah totally fulfilled, if you want to reach your next level, you have to fulfill that part of your neshama in ibur, yinika, and mochin. How to do that exactly? That's not the subject of our discussion. Okay? That's in Shara Pesukim. The Ari HaKadosh tells us about it. Okay? From the Pasuk, u'me'il kadot aseh lo imo. ונקראת נפש שלמה דעשייה, ואז כי אל הרוח מן היצירה, then you can finally get your ruach, וגם בחלק זה הנקרא רוח, יש בו כל 5 מדרגות, you also have all 5 aspects, וכולם נקראים רוח שלם דיצירה, the full aspect of your רוח, וכדרך זה בנשמת הבריאה, כן בחיה, כן ביחידה, ואין להאריך בזה עתה, end of discussion, okay? So, in summary, every part of your neshama, how many parts you have? 5 parts. Each part has how many parts? 5. 5 times 5 is how much?
25.
So to get to your full madrega, you have to fix how many parts? 25 parts. But really, Rav Shimon Agassi explains, this ibur yinika mochin, it's really 5. these three are also keneged nefesh, ruach, and neshama. There's two higher aspects than this. They're called chaya and yichida. These are called the pnimi, that's called the makif. So he has each one of those 5 parts. For example, your nefesh shebenefesh also has how many parts? 5 parts. So it's 25 times 5 is how much?
25 times 5 is 125.
125. So to truly get to your true potential, how many madrigot you have to climb? 120. And what are they? I'm going to teach you a secret of secrets. What are they? Those are the 120 kach tzirufei Elokim. God's name, Elokim. How many letters are there? 5. How many different configurations can I configure the letters? 120 different ways. 120 plus 5 is how much? 125. That means that's why the Torah starts off with which name always? Bereshit bara Elokim. And it's all about Elokim. Because the whole point is to reveal God within the nature. There's no Maila when Hashem comes to you and speaks to you. Mazal tov. Who's not going to believe in Him? The whole Ma'ala is to awaken the Itaruta del Tata. Not the Itaruta del Ela. Okay? Yichud Tata'a, not Yichud Ila'a. Right? Now, before we're going to get to the next discussion, which is a very deep discussion in Shar Gilin, I want to read you guys something from the Bnei Aaron of Shimon Agassi, whose Yortzeit is coming up. He passed away a day before Tisha B'Av, so this year is going to be Thursday night. So our next Thursday night shiur, we're going to have a nice hilulah for him, and we're going to learn from we're learning his sefer. That means he might even visit us over here. It's a known thing by Mekubalim. It's a known thing. When you learn the sefer of somebody, and you finish a mimer, or you finish a point in it, he comes to visit you. There are many times where Rabbi Yehuda Ptaya used to make a siyum, and he used to leave an empty chair next to him. You say, Rabbi, why is the chair empty next to you? And his Da'ariyah Kadosh is sitting next to me right now. And all the students would suddenly feel it, and they used to start and shake from fear. So you guys have a very big zechut. Okay? Now, Rabbi said, I want you to, whoever has the Bnei Aaron, to turn to page Yutet. Whoever's the Bnei, you don't have the Bnei Aaron, you have to listen. Okay?
19?
Yeah, 19. Yutet on the bottom. Okay. V'chen hu. You see the second paragraph? V'chen hu. Okay, I'm going to read it inside, and we're going to explain, because this is going to be important for our next conversation, next subject. Because v'ken hu mishu sharsho beis, whoever his source, your soul is a yesodistic soul. That means your soul comes from the sefirah of Yesod. Once again, there are 10 sefirot. Keter, let's keep it one color. Keter, chokhmah, bina. Dat is a quasi-sefirah. It's only used when keter is not in play. Chol bina, chesed, gevurah, tiferet, netzach, hod, yesod, and malchut. Your soul comes from one of these. You don't have all 10 inside of you. Now, let's say I come from the Yesod, right? This is Yesod, it's the 9th one. The Yesod also has 10 within it, yes. But your soul is a soul of the Yesod. Okay? Same thing, a person is from Malchut. For example, David HaMelech came from where? The Malchut. Yosef HaTzadik came from where? The Yesod. Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Avraham was what? Chesed. Yitzchak was Gevurah. Yaakov was Tiferet, right? Yaakov was Tiferet. And obviously you know how the song goes in the Sukkah V'Lulav. Moshe v'Aaron is Netzach v'Hod. Moshe and Aaron. The Keter Chokhmah Bina is, no nishamot come from there, right? You have to come specifically from Zat, which is the Midot. You can't come from Keter Chokhmah Bina. It's impossible, okay? Because they're the Soda Mochin.
What?
They're the Mochin. They're the sphere that give you maturity. Okay? So if you're from the Yesod, so you have to start fixing from the Yesod of the Nok of Asiyah. ומתקן והולך כל היסודות. You have to start fixing all the yisods now, right? So you got to fix the yisod of Zah, Abba and Ima, and Arich of Asiyah. Right? You have to fix how many yisods? 5 yisods. ומשתלם בין נרנכי דנפש. Now you're fulfilled your quota in the narnachi of the nefesh. Mehei yisodot vehei partzufim na'asiyah. Ubehei bechinot narnachi deruach. Same thing you have to do when you get your ruach. You have to fix the 5 chamisha yisodot vehei partzufim deyitzirah. V'ken bechinot narnachi deneshama v'chaya bria v'atzilut. Ve'en lo shum shayachut. You have no connection whatsoever. B'sfira acheret kal. You should know one thing. If you come from the yisod, your connection is only with people from the yisod. That's it. That's what you gotta do. That's supposed to be your fraternity right there. Okay? Not from people from the Malchut, from the Netzach, from the Hod. That's not your job. You gotta worry about your own people. That means, practically speaking, if I'm from the Yesod,
How you know you're from the Yesod?
You have connections.
if only we would know that. It's a very good question, obviously. But we don't have the Ariya Kadosh was able to look at you and said what you learned last night in the Mal, what the letters are on your forehead. We're not at that level yet. We're just trying to learn the basics. Bizrat Hashem, if you're able to stay till the end, there is a certain thing that says you could figure out more or less what your Shorosh Hashemayim.
So this is basically...
Not for sure, because nobody will ever tell you this is what it is.
So this,
And there are people who pray for 10, 20 years. They still don't know.
so this basically is an introduction to our... Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah.
Introduction to how the spheres basically operate
Operate in our world.
in our world.
Right. In your body, in your soul. You understand? So a person who's from the Yesod, for example, most probably would be that most of his life he would have problems with what? The Yesod, right? So that all men have that problem.
Some more.
There you go. Some more, some less. Some more, some less. So a person's from the Malchut. That person would probably like a lot of kavod, because Malchut is kingship. You understand? He's a person who's over obsessed with kavod. Yeah?
What if you have both?
Some more, some less. You
didn't fix it.
Everybody has, if you want to know who you really are, you don't go to a rabbi. Who do you ask?
Your wife.
Your wife. Okay, your wife will tell you what midot you need to work on, what stuff you need to. For example, let's say every man thinks he has a problem with kas, right?
Anger.
We all get angry. But you would be surprised if you would ask your wife, what do you think is my one flaw? She might tell you it's atzlanut. No, you gotta ask her, what do you think is my worst, my fatal flaw? She might tell you atzlanut, you're an atzlan, you're a sloth, you're a lazy guy, you're a procrastinator. But I always had a problem with kas. Like, you get kas, but I've seen worse, Or some guys are cheap, they're kamtzanim. It's also a bad midah. What does kamtzanut come from? From gevurah.
What about
Right? He's cheap. Everything is, how you say, it's
accounted?
calculated. Where are you spending the money? Where this? Where that? Where's this penny going to?
But where laziness coming from? Which?
Laziness from the malchut.
Oh, it's
Also malchut.
Selfishness.
Yeah, also. So a person who has a problem with anger is also a gevurah. A person who's too giving, it's also bad. Right? What does the Rambam says? A person who has mercy on a wicked person, he himself is Yoresh Gehinnom. You're not allowed to have too much mercy on wicked people. A person is a killer. You're not going to let him go out in jail. He behaved well. Mazal tov, he behaved well. That's the way it works. So everybody has a specific midah, specific sphera that he's from. Okay? There are souls that are all inclusive. For example, like Moshe Rabbeinu, he had 600,000 souls inside of him. That's one big soul. But we see that he had one problem in his life more than everything else. What was that?
Too humble.
He was humble to a point where it was a fault already. You understand? Then when he would get angry, God's like, what happened to your, why'd you hit that rock? Shimuna Amorim, listen you. And what did Moshe Rabbeinu tell them? Did I ever take even a donkey from you as payment? I never took money from you guys. You guys are always down my throat. How does such a humble guy say such a thing? That's what happens when you're too extreme in something. Okay, I don't want to get in. Eliyahu Hanavi, he was another all-inclusive soul. What was his problem? He was a kanai. He was a kanai.
Wow.
Kanai is jealous.
No word.
Yeah. But not jealous for himself, jealous for Hashem, obviously. Again, you don't have any shaykh on the sphere. Now, so what does that mean? That means basically in your lifetime, all the people that will affect you come from your sphere. People who don't affect you will not come from your sphere.
So like your parents?
Your parent. You should know one thing. If your parents are definitely from the same shore neshama as you, or else how would they bring you down to this world?
What about your siblings?
Siblings, your co-workers, people you're always in competition with, people that you don't like, people that you dislike. Why do you dislike people sometimes? Your souls think since you're from the same shorish that you're in competition. But you don't know that if you would work together, you actually would both fulfill your destiny and there would be no reason for hatred. Correct? That's the way it works. Now, how do I know my shorish neshama? I want to bring down a very high shorish neshama. What do I do? What do I do, Gabriel? Oh, let's continue. Aval. You can't compare Mishu Shoshami Malchut and Mishu Shope Yesod. Person who comes from the Yesod, my Sfira is Yesod, for example, Yosef HaTzadik, he's much higher level than a person that comes from the Malchut. He's already born, how you say, with certain plus gifts that make him on a higher level than a person that comes from the Malchut. Why? Because he's on a higher plane of existence. That's why Shaul was from the Yesod. He made one mistake, Salamat. David HaMelech made many mistakes. He was Mekabel Lashon Hara, he killed Uriah, he was with Bathsheba.
But he was in the lowest level. Since
he was in the lowest level, he had a couple of extra chances. Because God doesn't come to you with Betrunia. You know, Hashem knows what you're capable of. The fish HaYesod hu me'uleh ma'malchut. Yesod is higher than the malchut. והנער נכי שמקבל מהיסודות לכל עולם הם מעולים יותר מנער נכי שמקבל מי ששורשו במלכות מהמלכויות. A person who gets nefesh, ruach, neshama, chayah, chayah from yesod, they're much more zach, clearer than a person who gets them from the malchut. And so too came Mishra behod. Same thing with hod. Hod is on a higher level than yesod. הוא יותר מעולה ממישהו ביסוד. וכן על דרך זה בשאר הבחינות גבוה מעל גבוה עד הכתר. So obviously a person who comes from keter, very rare, he's obviously born with certain abilities, right? Like you hear stories of kids, you know, like the Gaon Mevilna, we were talking about him yesterday. He was 11 years old. He finished Masechet Nedarim and Shavuot in one night of Shavuot. Cross-reference 100 different. That's a guy. That's a Rav. That's from Neshama from the highest realms. And what is this talui on? Here's the punch that I want to teach you guys today. What is this talui on? How can I bring a soul from Keter, or a soul from Chokhmah, or a soul from Binah, or a soul from or higher soul? I don't want, I want to bring high souls. זה תלוי בכוונת האב ואם בשעת תשמיש. It all depends what were the father and mother thinking about during the conception. כי לפי זכותם, according to their merits, וכוונתם. I mean, it's not just a kavana, it's also what you did during the day. And your kavana, כך הם ממשיכים נשמה לאותו הבן. So too you will bring a soul into that child. Understand what I'm saying?
That's deep.
This is the secret of secrets. מהמלכות, או מהיסוד, או מהוד, או כפי העת והשעה, כמו בעץ חיים שערכה בשער המוחים, פרקי יעוין שם. זהו מה שצריך לאדם לתקן בעולם הזה, אם יזכה. או בגלל המלכויות או יסודות, כיוציא כפי שורש מחסד נשמתו, ואינו זז משורשו לעולם. You can never change your שורש נשמה forever, Rabbi Isa. So, what do we see over here? So, the father and mother can actually bring a soul into this world that is higher than their shorish neshama or lower. How so? If a person is with his wife while he's drunk, and he gets her and he conceives, and she gets pregnant, so that child, I don't even know if he'll come from the malchut, he might come from klipat noga. You understand? But whose fault is that? Well, I was about to go for both, but it's the parents' fault. You understand? If your child was conceived, she went to the mikveh that day, and also You went to the mikveh that day. And also, you prayed that day 3 prayers with a minyan. And you did tzedakah that day. That means I'm giving you guys a hint how, if you guys want to bring more kids, whoever needs to bring kids in the future, I'm giving you guys a hint how to bring Yilayim Tzadikim. That means it's the opposite of Goyim. Goyim has to be spontaneous and romantic. For us, it's just the opposite. It has to be unspontaneous and planned out.
Spiritual.
Has to, exactly.
It's not Hollywood.
That means on the day of the, let's say it's our mikvah night, because children that come from the mikvah night are very high neshamot. They come from the future, by the way. They're neshamot that are supposed to be born time of Mashiach. So what you do that same day, you give, for example, $300 to tzedakah.
The day of?
Yeah,
Before the thing.
yeah. And then you go dip inside the mikveh. If you're gonna do that, then that's only the zechut part. And then you're gonna go, and when you're gonna be with your spouse, you're not gonna chas v'shalom think of someone else. You're gonna have pure thoughts. What's pure thoughts? You have to think of the Baba Sali while you're... that's not what pure thoughts means. Okay? Pure thoughts means that you have to have only in mind to be mikayem, the mitzvah of pru. Nikuda. That's what kavanah means over here. It doesn't mean that you gotta think of... We're not Hasidim Arishonim that used to learn Torah in their head while they were... That's not the way it works. We're not in that level. Don't think because you learn Shara Gilgulim, you just grown wings and it's only the 4th shiur. Okay? It means that you have to, before you go to the thing, there's a special prayer from the Ben Ish Chai. You say, and then there is a third aspect of what time of the day is it? If it's before midnight or after midnight.
Yeah.
During the day is obviously Asur. You understand? How about at night? Is there special times at night? Just different than others? Before midnight, after midnight? It plays a difference too. Okay? All these things affect the soul that's going to come down that night. Because there are souls that are waiting, they're in line to come down. And depending on your actions that day, you'll be able to receive, can I also have a cup please? They're able to receive a bigger neshama. And obviously if you receive a big neshama, what happens? Less tsar gilul banim. You're not going to have to suffer raising them.
So it applies for
Yeah.
boys and girls.
Of course. Rav Chaim Vital's first child, the Ari told him from his second wife. Her name was, what was her name? Jamila, I think. She was Syrian. They had Muslim names. I think her name was Jamila. His first wife's name was Chana. So the Ari told him, if you're going to continue doing the yichudim that I'm teaching you this and that, you're going to have a child. Your first child be your second wife. If you're going to do mitzvot umasim tovim, if it's going to be a boy, he's going to be such a tzaddik, the world has never seen anything like him. If it's going to be a girl, she's going to be so smart. He had a boy, and in his avonot, the child died at a very early age, and he was supposed to, and Rav Chaim Vital hints that he had a neshama of Nehemiah inside of him. Nehemiah is one of the men who built the second Beit HaMikdash.
Wow.
Could you imagine the level of neshama? And Amarhu, he didn't get comforted from that death for a very long time. He always felt the loss of that neshama. He wasn't worthy of it. Let's continue. Couple of more minutes. Ubeofen zeh, because this is an important hakdama, and this way, according to your shorish neshama, yo'echos tzadik darko. You have to always hold your shorish neshama. So this is what I'm telling you. It's very important to know your shorish neshama. You have to figure out who you are. Okay, we don't have the Ariya Kadosh these days to figure out what's our shorish neshama. You understand? I don't have a phone number like that. 1-800, what's my shorish neshama? No, there's no phone number like that.
Google.
You have to find out. How do you find out? You have to keep a cheshbon hanefesh, a personal notebook. On this personal notebook, you have to check out or X out what is your weaknesses and what's your strength. Okay, obviously everybody has different ones. And from there you can find out what's your shorish neshama. להתאמץ לעלות אל המרכבה בדרך המלך. You have to make your way up to the merkava. It's Olam HaBriya. Once you get to neshama, you're never gonna sin again. If you could just reach the neshama. Shabbat Shalom is correct. Lo yadei yamin u'shmol. You're not allowed to go right or left. That means you can't just suddenly decide one day, I don't want to be from the Yesod. I want to be from Netzach. Jonah, it doesn't work like that. If you're Yesod, you're Yesod for the rest of your life. If you're Malchut, you're Malchut for the rest of your life. Amnam, however, there are exceptions.
Mm-hmm.
You are able to change your Shorosh Neshama.
Once you fix all the levels.
Like he said, Shabbat Shalom. Amnam, however, לפעמים, there are times, אפשר לו לאדם להחליף שורשו בשורש אחר. You're not changing your neshama through any bore. You're able to switch your shorish.
How do you do that?
Al yedei, how do you do that? Good question. שיזכך מעשיו ביותר. You have to purify your actions to a point. שיהיה ראוי ומוכשר לקבל נשמה מעולה ממקום גבוה למעלה.
Mala. Love.
You have to purify your actions to the point where you become so purified that you're able to switch your root soul to another one.
Can you do it for your
For your children?
unborn child?
So your unborn child? No. What's done is done.
So you can't, even for the children you can do
Yeah,
it.
you can't do it. You can do every man for himself, Rabbi Isaac. כמו שכתוב לכמה מקדם י"ט. והכי אשכחן גבי משה רבינו. This is exactly what happened to Moshe Rabbeinu, says Rav Shimon Agassi. Moshe Rabbeinu started off at a certain shorish neshama, and through his ma'asim, he was able to switch and become who he was. וכן בשער כוונו לגבי תלמידי רבי עקיבא. So too by Rabbi Akiva. And what happens when you change your shorish neshama? What happens to the old one? Well, your old one goes to R.Shalom, someone else? I worked so hard to fix it. Am I right or wrong? ואז מניח הוא את שורשו הראשון. You leave your first shorish. שלמטה, כמו שהוא, the way it is, והוא עולה, but you go up, ומקבל בחינה אחרת יותר מעולה, ומפתל בתיר שורשו הראשון הגרוע, לגבי בחינה אחרת המעולה שלוקח עתה ואינו עולה עוד בשם. So it's basically like you have a candle in the sun. When you have a candle in the afternoon sun, do you see the light of the candle?
Mm-hmm.
Of course not. Because the light of the candle is obsolete compared to the sun. So too, when you're able to change your shorish neshama, your previous shorish gets included in the higher shorish, and it's like it's not there anymore. Miftal batir, like it gets included within it, exactly. וגם כל שער בחינת נרנחי שמקבל מכאן ואילך הם לפי ערך מדרגה לבחינת מולד. From now on, you're only gonna get the נרנחי, נפש, רוח, משמעות היחידה, from your new shorish. שלוקח עתה ולא לפי ערך מדרגת שורשו הראשון, הגרוע. ואם כן, therefore, at the end of the line, מי שעיקר שורשו היה במלכות, let's say I'm from Malchut. I'm from the Sphira of Malchut, David HaMelech. ואתה נראה והוכשרת לא לקבל נשמה מיסוד. Now I became so special. Now Hashem says this guy is worthy to change from Malchut to what? Yesod. אז בתי לחשת ששורש in Malchut, your shorish in the Malchut gets nullified. ועכשיו נוטל כל בחינת נרנחי מהיסודות וכל הפרצופים. Now you're able to get the נרנחי from the yesod of all the partzufim. It's unbelievable. שבכל העולמות, כמו מי שעיקר שום בכלל מיסוד, it's like you were born from the yesod. It's like you were reborn. Do you imagine what kind of level a Jew could achieve? ושם שורשו הראשון מלכות נקרא ותמיד לגמרי שלא נקרא את שורשו מלכות ביסוד. And your original shorish, it's like it was never there to begin with. Because a candle in the sun, do you actually see the light anymore? You don't. And if you become even more special, stronger, על ידי מעשיו, You could mikabel neshama me'ahod. You could even go up to a different level. Instead of being from the Yesod now, you could now become Hod. Hod is who? Haron. Sorry, over here. Haron.
She's your
This is your side today.
Ironical.
Today's ironical and your side.
Wow. Yours got
We're learning Torah Lishmar all day.
Yours got it was 2 days ago. And this guy's today. Wow.
It's also his son's your side. Elazar, go ahead. They both passed away in the same year. ואז בתיר גם שורשו שביסוד ונקרא אתה השם ההוד והדרך זה הוא מניע מבחינה זאת למטה ונותן מבחינה אחרת מעולה ימנע עד שעולה אל הכתר. And you, if you're able, you could do this until you reach what? כתר. ואז כל בירות התחתונים שקיבל זה אחר זה מתבטלים ואינם עולים עוד בשם ואינו נקרא רק על שם הכתר and you have just turned into a ספירה of כתר. מיהו? Here's the punchline, רבותיי. This is what I've been coming to get to this point. אין זה נוהג אלא מיצירה ולמעלה. This only counts from which olam? Not in olam ha'asiyah. You could only change your shorosh neshama once you get to the world of Yetzirah, which is your ruach. Well, if you're still with a nefesh, you're stuck with a malchut, the yesod, wherever you come from, until you finish all 25 bechinot. אבל בעשייה אינו כן. In עשייה this doesn't happen. כמו שהתבאר לקמן בסייעתא דשמיא, like we will learn once we get there בסייעתא דשמיא. How many minutes we have over here? Okay, we're going to end over here today. With this introduction, we're going to get to where we need to go next week, which is we're going to learn the big difference between a nefesh and a ruach. Thank you everyone for coming tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it.